Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend so far, and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, where this time around we're going to be showing you a little bit more of what happens between battles. There are more Chaos Blooms popped up, and I can only reach one of them in time. Looking at the armory access here, there's all kinds of useful master-crafted weapons that I'll have a chance of purchasing if I successfully complete this mission. And since it is the only one that I can reach in time, we may as well just go for it, roll the dice, and hope we get lucky. Now, work on the ship continues while we're underway, but there's also a chance that certain random events are going to pop up, and one just did.
It approaches, Commander. Our day of meditation.
What are you on about, Ektar?
Stoic contemplation fortifies the soul, Inquisitor. This is a tradition upheld by our previous commander,
Am I hearing you exactly right? Are you proposing to take the day off?
Inquisitor Waifu does kind of have a point. But then again, it's because of traditions like this that the Grey Knights, in the 10,000 year history of their chapter, have never lost a brother to Chaos Corruption. But I kind of need the A-team for this mission, so we'll hold a feast to honour the Emperor instead.
A feast? Well, you are the commander. I shall heed you.
Is that a tinge of regret I sense, Purifier?
Alright, that's not too bad actually. It's cost me 2 requisition, but for the next 60 days all of my knights have +1 bonus willpower. And the latest construction project is complete. I have 26 servitors. I don't think I've ever had that many servitors, so I'm kind of spoilt for choice on what to build next, although I am limited by the fact that the plasma reactor is only at rank 1. Additional projects like upgrades to the Librus Malleus and the augmentation chamber are going to require plasma reactor level 2. Now the meditation chamber is installed. That's giving me 50% bonus XP for all of my marines, and the earlier you get that, obviously the more beneficial it's going to be. I'm just not sure what else I really need. I'm going to improve the barracks. This will give me an extra 4 slots for marines, which will be recruited at a higher rank. But I really need to improve my research speed, because I still haven't unlocked the secrets of the seed. I have no prognosticars. I only have 2 requisition points. Yeah, I'm very low on resources. Anyway, let's head on to the mission. And we have a Grandmaster's report which is due, and we should get it before we arrive. Yes we do.
I have studied your report in detail, Inquisitor. It is clear the servants of the Plague God have been more active in your sector. However, there is little evidence to suggest this has grown to the scale of a galactic pandemic.
If I may.
Not yet. To be frank, the Baleful Edict is too damaged to be of use in more active theaters, so I will for the moment permit its continued deployment under your care.
Might I then?
No, you may not. I grant you the use of my ship to keep your histrionics to a minimum, but this is the limit of my generosity until you provide more convincing proof of this theory of yours. I trust that in the meantime you will keep out of the commander's way and let him serve the Imperium.
He dismisses my research out of hand.
The Grand Master is no friend to the Inquisition.
Are we not allies in this eternal war?
The Grey Knights have served as chamber militant for 10,000 years, but Varden Kai has had a sour history with your order. Still, he is a man of utmost principle. If we can more clearly quantify the growing threat of this plague, I'm certain he will offer more support. Commander, what would you have us do?
Well, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm not going to go behind the Grandmaster's back. I only have 1 seed. I need it for research, so I can't send it to Titan as evidence, which means I need to, well, send an apothecary.
I'm perfectly capable of handling my own data, but I will accept your offer. It is reassuring you take this threat seriously.
Apothecary Harms on assignment. That does not sound good. Well, anyway, we've had the Grandmaster's report, and I'm now able to improve my requisition from the Armory of Titan. I only have 2 requisition points, so I'm going to go for upgraded armor access. This will increase the quality of any armor rewards that I'm offered for requisition points upon successful completion of the mission. Speaking of which, we have arrived. So this planet is in range of my prognosticars, so I have fairly good intelligence on what to expect down here, but right now... Oh, that's not good. Apothecary Han is on assignment for 45 days, and he's my only apothecary. I thought I'd just go to the barracks and recruit another one, but I just spent all of my requisition points. It's 2 points per reinforcement. 45 days without an apothecary. Oh, I may have just committed a serious error of judgment. Alright. Well, there's no use crying about it. Let's pick the team from who we have available. Now, the glorious deed here is to win the mission with no critical injuries. Yeah, I can do that, that's no problem. That will give me bonus requisition, which I badly need at this point. So who are we going to pick to fill up that 4th slot? We're going to go with Justicar Balls. But we need to get him equipped, because this is his first mission. So, let's have a look. I've got a spare Mastercrafted Storm Bolter, which is nice. You can have that. Much more important, of course, is melee weapon. So, I have a couple of Mastercrafted Daemonhunters. At the moment, he's just equipped with the standard one. So this one, Ector's Wrath, does an extra point of damage on a crit, which is nice. And this one, Darrig's Discipline, has 5% extra chance of scoring a crit, which is better, so we're going to equip that. Now then, armor type. Yes, he is wearing Terminator armor. Oh, hang on, I just thought. I got some Mastercrafted Terminator armor in the previous mission, which I definitely want to equip on Justicar Iolanthus. Now, which one was it? Let's have a look. So there's his standard suit of armour, which he currently has equipped. He has Refuge in Faith, which gives him an increased chance of triggering afflictions and autos, which isn't bad, I suppose. It's better than nothing. But this one, the Warp Scourge armour, this knight does not increase the Warp Surge when using psychic abilities. We are having that. That is amazing. That means he can use his Honour the Chapter ability with no penalty, he can buff his ranged attacks with a Psychic Bolt for no penalty, use the Hammer Hand, the Force Strike ability, he can age his shield as much as he likes and it won't increase the Warp Surge meter. But since I do have a spare set of Mastercrafted Terminator armour, I may as well stick it on Justicar Balls. Actually, you know, this Refuge in Faith isn't bad. It gives him an extra 2 hit points, and since he's lower ranked than everybody else, that is going to come in useful. So he can have that, and then I think, yeah, he's got no promotion points, because he is just rank 1. Right, well, I guess we're done. It's time to bite the bullet, beam down, and kick ass for righteous justice. Let's do this.
Data indicates the Sons of the Putrid Eye use these roads as a base of operation.
Another foul cult of Nurgle. There is little doubt we will find more of these seeds below. Brothers, advance.
Now, the good news is that because this system was in range of the prognosticars that I placed, when I did actually have any prognosticars, I do have intelligence on the threat that I'm going to be facing here. And also, it's reducing the effects of the Chaos Bloom, so the Warp Surge meter should not be advancing by more than 15% every turn, which is the lowest that it can advance by. For those purposes, this planet is treated as if the Chaos Corruption was 2 levels lower than it actually is. Once again, because I learned my lesson the hard way, in previous playthroughs I am not advancing everybody to the maximum limit available from their action points. Instead, I'm trying to keep the team together.
Advancing.
Because as soon as you make contact with the enemy, everybody stops and they all have their action points refreshed. So it's important to try to keep everybody together.
Rally,
Because
fools.
then this happens,
It shall
and
be
the squad is
tested.
strung out all over the place. So we've got a couple of Chaos Cultists and one Plague Priest. What is the Plague Priest doing? He's buffing that guy with Swollen Flesh. That's going to give him additional armour, which is less than ideal. But there is a far, far worse thing that Plague Priests can do. They can actually trigger a Warp Surge, regardless of the level of the Warp meter. So, that could have been worse. Right, Justicar Iolanthus is going to honour the chapter on Interceptor Storm. And remember, he can do that without raising the Warp meter, thanks to the shiny new set of Terminator armour that he has. This has given Interceptor Storm an extra 2 action points. So, I can move him up to here to get as many of them as possible in range of his teleport strike. I'm going to hit him, I'm going to hit him. They're the only 2 that are actually in range, and then I pick an adjacent square to end the teleport. Now, do I want to warp charge this? Let's find out what happens. The warp meter will go to 20%, but it's going to outright kill one of them. And it's almost killed the Plague Priest because he has 3 spare action points. So an unaugmented attack is enough to kill the Plague Priest. And he still has 2 action points. Now a Force Strike isn't going to make that much difference, because this guy has a ton of armour. You know what, I could just shoot. Yep, we'll do that.
As you will.
I should still have 1 action point. No, he's got 2. Oh, what the hell, why not? We'll just chunk away his armour. And we can do that again. You see how powerful an ability Honor the Chapter is? Particularly if you use it on an Interceptor with the Teleport Strike ability. Now, mousing over this location, you see there's a line being drawn between it and the last remaining cultist, which means if I move Purgator Fool up there, I can shoot at him. And he can shoot twice because he has 2 action points remaining. His first shot doesn't kill him, but it does stun him. And that's a bit of a shame, because if you attack a stunned enemy in melee, you get the option to execute, and the execute is just an automatic kill, but it also gives every one of your Marines an additional action point. Then again, it's not really that much of a shame, because that was the last remaining cultist, and, well, combat's now over, and everybody's had their action points refreshed anyway. But it's something to bear in mind in future. Getting melee attacks in on stunned enemies is incredibly useful. Of course, stunning a lowly cultist isn't that difficult. Stunning a Chaos Marine, or something even tougher than a Chaos Marine, takes more than just the 1 hit. Anyway, we've still got these 2 seed carriers to kill, which means that there are 2 guaranteed seeds in this mission that I could retrieve, and I need those seeds for my research. In fact, at the moment, Inquisitor Waifu's research is pretty cock-blocked, because in order to do anything useful, she's going to need 5 seeds, and I think I only have 1. I'm ending the turn early here. I realise I could have moved my guys further ahead, but Justicar Iolanthus is lagging behind at the back there, and I don't want to split. So, speaking of Chaos Seeds, at the moment I can't advance the story. I'm just going from planet to planet fighting Chaos Blooms, because in order to advance the story, I need to unlock a certain part of Inquisitor Waifu's research, and that requires 5 Chaos Seeds, and I think at the moment I only actually have 1. Which is why I couldn't send it back to Titan. More cultists. Anything especially nasty amongst them? Nope, just cultists. Okay. But yeah, earlier at Grandmaster Kai's report, I had the option of sending 1 Chaos Seed back to get additional support from him, but that was the only Chaos Seed I had, and I can't afford to be giving them away. So, oh, one of these guys is a seed carrier. Right. There's a bunch of these guys standing right next to a drop. I want to try and hit as many of them as possible, and this... I mean, the grenade itself isn't going to kill them, but the fall will. If I can knock them over the edge. Okay, well, it didn't work the way I was hoping it would, but it did kill 2 of them because it also detonated the ammunition crate that one of them was hiding behind, so I'll take it. Now, I'm going to hold Iolanthus in reserve there because he can still use his Honour the Chapter ability. We'll see what we can do with everybody else. So, Purgator Thule. Who's in range? Actually, none of them. Well, they're in range of a grenade, but they're out of line of sight for his side cannon. That will get a kill and will blow the other fella out of cover and towards us if I aim the grenade right.
Death.
Worked as intended. Right, I need to get some kills with Justicar Iolanthus to replenish his willpower so he can continue to use that Honour the Chapter ability. That'll do.
With me, my brother.
Now Justicar Balls. I'm not sure what I can do with him that's terribly useful. That's as far as I can move him and still have an action point, and the remaining cultist is out of range. Well, he's out of range of his Storm Bolter, but he could kill him with a grenade. Then again, it does seem like a bit of a waste of a grenade to just kill one wounded cultist. What can we do with Interceptor Storm? So I'm looking to see where I can move him to, where he'll still have an action point left over and be able to do something when he gets there. And the options are not looking very good. So I can move him here and still have 2 action points. Now, his teleport has a range of 15 because I have improved it with promotion points. So how close can I get him? I can move him to there and still have an action point and be able to shoot. Except I can't. There was a patrol over there, wasn't there? See, the last thing I want to do now is move him to somewhere where he can kill that guy, but then triggers the other patrol.
The unfaithful are here.
And there's a Plague Priest. Okay. Didn't want that to happen. That's the bad news. The good news is, he has a 50% chance of recovering an action point every time he uses a teleport ability, and he just did. So instead of arriving with 1 action point, he arrived with 2. Next, I'm going to use my Stratagem Quicksilver to give him another 2 action points, so now he has 3. Can anybody else help him out? Just Justicar Balls, he's the only one left with an action, and he's way too far away to do anything, so this is all going to be down to Interceptor Storm. Right. So, let's think about this. I mean, I can run up to these guys and hit them with his Force Swords, but that doesn't seem like it's going to do anything particularly useful. How about the Teleport Strike ability? So, that'll kill 1. That kind of looks like he's in range, and yet he somehow isn't, which is very disappointing. So that's not going to be particularly useful either. However, there is an ammo crate there, which I can shoot at. And it won't kill that fella, but it will knock him back right next to the Plague Priest. Right, now what can I do with the Teleport Strike ability? Okay, I can hit the Plague Priest, kill the guy next to him. If I warp charge it, it'll give me 60% on the warp meter. And it still won't kill the Plague Priest, but it will hurt him a lot.
No demon shall avoid its fate.
I have 1 action point left. I may as well go for the Force Strike and put this guy down. So, Interceptor Storm is in trouble, but he's in way less trouble than he was when he had 4 cultists standing next to him. The warp meter's at 60%. Unless I activate further psychic abilities, it won't go any higher than 75% at the end of the enemy turn.
Tear them down!
This guy's setting Overwatch, that's fine.
Die!
And this guy is probably going to take a shot. Yeah. Probably also set Overwatch.
Overwatch!
And that's fine. I mean, it's not good because Storm's injured, but at least he's not dead. And we don't have an apothecary on this mission. Because Apothecary Han is on his way back to Titan for the next 45 days to brief the Grand Master. Right. Okay. Justicar Balls only has the 1 action point left. And again, I mean, he could hit that guy with a grenade, but that's not ideal. So, Storm can teleport out of there without triggering the Overwatch. So if I teleport over here behind this guy, that doesn't work. cover between him and the other cultist, and he can use 2 regular attacks here without spending any willpower and increasing the warp meter even further. Nail one of the cultists and get him out of the overwatch. Here's the thing. If I use any psychic abilities here, it's going to raise the warp meter to 85%, which will guarantee a warp surge at the end of the turn. However, while that does mean I'd get the warp surge next turn, I'd rather get it now and kill that last cultist, so that the warp surge is not triggered when I have enemies around. So I figured it was worth expending the willpower to use the teleport strike in order to ensure that Interceptor Storm takes no further injuries, because I don't have an apothecary, and also I have to win this mission with no critical injuries to get bonus requisition points. If I fail to win this mission with no critical injuries, I will lose requisition points. And I don't have any requisition points. So I don't know what happens if you lose them when you don't have them, but I suspect it's probably nothing good. Here's the warp surge. So the enemy forces gain +1 reinforcements. Okay. That's fine. That could have been a lot worse. What that means is that when I complete the mission, there are going to be warp gates open with reinforcements coming through. So I'll have to hold for extraction, but I'll deal with that when I need to. So, where did that... Oh, there it is. There's the other seed cannon. Alright, let's get the squad together, and then we'll advance cautiously. And it was while I was consolidating the squad and advancing that I noticed something very, very useful. Occasionally, you'll find Chaos Seeds just lying around, and you can literally just walk over and pick them up. So given how badly I need them, I'm certainly not going to say no to that. This does of course mean that once again Iolanthus is lagging behind the rest. Let's just take a quick look around and see if there are any other Chaos Seeds just lying around waiting to be picked up. I'm not seeing any. I do have other action points. I could move the rest of the squad further forward, but that's just going to increase the separation between them and Iolanthus, and I don't want to risk running into that last group of seed carriers with Iolanthus that far behind everybody else. So we're going to start with him since he's at the back, and pick a useful spot to move him up to, hopefully. Well, actually, if I trigger contact with the patrol now, it doesn't really matter since the squad are together.
Unleash me.
Purgator Fool, spot there behind hard cover, and that is... Ooh, Chaos Marines. Well, 1 Chaos Marine and a bunch of Plague Cultists, at least one of which has a heavy stubber. The Plague Marine is just set in Overwatch, which is fine because he's not in Overwatch range of anybody anyway. Another zone of Overwatch from this guy.
Permission to engage, Commander.
What can Purgator Fool do from here? Is anybody actually in shooting range? Just the one. Yeah. Okay. We can't do anything else. We're going to go for it? We're going to go for it. The Psychic Onslaught? Oh, actually, we'll hit 2 of them. It'll raise the warp meter to 40%. Why not? Right, they didn't like that much. Unfortunately, I now have to reload, which is a bummer, but I do still have 1 action point remaining, so I can at least kill one of them outright. The Purgator Fool is in very good cover there,
Finished.
so this is good. He also recovers a willpower point because he got a kill. Now then, Justicar Iolanthus. He has all 7 of his willpower points back, so he can use his psychic abilities as much as he likes, and with that suit of Terminator armor, it's not going to increase the warp surge meter. What can Inquisitor Storm do from here? That's the seed carrier. So I can teleport to there. 1 action point.
We must refocus.
Okay, that was a miscalculation. I didn't think he was covered by that guy's Overwatch, but he is. So he will take damage if I kill him. I'll take damage if I throw a grenade. Alright, we'll leave him there for the moment. Just to call Boars. He needs to do something about the overwatch that's covering Storm. I'll move him up to here, he'll be within shooting range and he'll have 2 actions left. So, where is he? There he is. I'm going to buff this with a Cybolt. It'll push the warp meter to 50%, but it should mean that I'll be able to kill him with a second shot unaugmented. It works, but I forgot something.
Seeds accounted for, Commander, but there are warp disturbances emerging nearby. We will begin teleport extraction immediately.
Yep, that was the last seed carrier, which means that the reinforcements are now triggered. Well, shit. The good news, of course, is that Interceptor Storm is now free to move without getting hit by Overwatch. And I have to hold 3 turns for extraction, and I've used the Quicksilver Stratagem for an extra 2 action points. I do still have Honor the Chapter ready to go on Justicar Iolanthus, but for the moment I don't actually need it. Can I get this grenade somewhere where it's going to kill that guy and knock the Plague Marine back? I can. It's also going to strip the Plague Marine's armor. So that's 1 more down. The Plague Marine's been knocked back and that's cancelled his Overwatch. And an extra point of willpower for Interceptor Storm. Tempting though it is to rush him in there and lay about with the teleport strike ability, he is injured. And I don't want to risk having his health reduced to 0 because that will be a critical injury and then I won't get the requisition points for completing the glorious deed. And I don't have any requisition points, so I need all the points I can get. He still has 2 action points left. I could give him another 2 with Honor the Chapter. Oh, what am I going to do? I can't actually hit anything with his Storm Bolter from down here. He is easily my most potent Marine though, so I'm going to have to use him. Right, we'll Honor the Chapter, give him an extra 2 action points. Now.
Yes, Commander.
Where can he go from here? I can't teleport strike. But I can just run up here and force strike this guy. It's going to raise the warp meter to 55%. I don't think I need to though, because the grenade stripped his armor. +1 stun. If I can get an execute kill, that'd be great. He is stunned. I should have gone for the execute kill instead of the force strike, because that would have given everybody 1 extra action point. But, well, could have, would have, should have, didn't. It's also put the warp meter up to 55%. Now then, I want to try to make sure that nobody goes for Justicar Storm or Purgator Tool, because they don't have Terminator armor, they don't have bonus armor. So I moved Iolanthus up, and he is in half cover, and he has bonus armor because he's in Terminator armor. So that shot didn't do any damage. The Overwatch doesn't seem to be threatening anybody. Here come the reinforcements. Oh, that is not good. 2 plague.
Arms at the ready.
More reinforcements from over here. Another Plague Marine and a Cultist. That is equally ungood. More reinforcements. Another 2 Plague Marines. Well, shit. Bloom rises to 70%. Purgator Fool. He's out of grenades. He's only got 1 shot left in his Psy Cannon, so we better make that one count before he's forced to reload. What to do? I can move him into hard cover there, or there, and still have shots. I think I need to pull everybody back to where that 1 Plague Marine is. So Justicar Boars is going to run up to this guy and force strike him in the face with his Demon Hammer. Which we can't see because the camera just spazzed out, but that's good. Next, Justicar Iolanthus. I'm going to shoot this guy. Probably have to do it twice. Might have to do it. Oh, yeah. Oh no, we got him. And then fall back. Actually, first, we're going to Honor the Chapter. I think on Justicar Balls and try to finish off that Plague Marine. So he gets an extra 2 action points. An extra 2 attacks on the Plague Marine. Where is he? There he is.
Yes, Commander.
Smite him, boars. Smite him with great justice and righteous fury. Yeah, one more should do it. Doesn't need a force strike. Okay. This is where I'm going to have everybody fall back to. Hunker down and just wait out the extraction. But I'll probably need to deal with that fella first. Purgator Fool can hit him from here, but he's only got one shot left. So he's going to have to reload before he can finish him off with his final action. Which he can do, but he's still stuck in the same position. Although he does have hard cover there from the Plague Marines on the other side, so that's not terrible. Now then, I need to get Intercept the Storm the hell out of here. Fortunately, as an interceptor, he's got a lot of movement. Get him down here. And it's their turn. But what are these guys up to?
Barely a scratch.
Okay. Purgator Fool in half cover took reduced damage. It's the first time in 2 missions, by the way, that any of the troops have even taken a scratch. They're all set in Overwatch. You know what? Overwatch is fine. They're not shooting at anybody. They're all set in Overwatch. Is anybody actually in Overwatch range? We'll soon find out. A couple of shots at Purgatory Fool again, and more Overwatch. Do I have any grenades left? I know Purgatory Fool doesn't. Warp Surge is now at 90%, so we will get a Warp Surge at the end of this turn, regardless of what I do with Psychic ability.
Fool.
Purgator Fool is covered by at least one of those Overwatch zones, so I do need to do something or I can't get him out of there. Could pop his Aegis shield. Let's work on getting him out of there first though. No grenades.
Unleash your command.
Doesn't anybody have a grenade? Of course, just the Boars does, and he's all the way back there. So, alright, we'll move him up. Oh, his grenade just has the range to knock back that Plague Marine at the front, who I think is the only one that's actually covering Purgator Fool with Overwatch. Fingers crossed. It's knocked him back, it's cancelled the Overwatch. It's also stripped his armour. And yep, he's now free to move. So my initial plan was to just get everybody to fall back, and Purgator Fool is now free to do that. But now I'm thinking, how many of these Plague Marines can I take with me? We're going to move Purgator Fool up to solid cover here. He's going to have to reload his Psychic.
Armed and ready.
Now it does only have a range of 10. There's another heavy weapon you can pick, the Silencer, which you can't Overwatch with, but you can increase the range to 15. That is not a useful zone of Overwatch, which is one of the downsides of getting into hard cover. It's difficult to shoot around it, unless you use attacks that bypass line of sight, like the Sanctified Kill Zone, which is going to inflict the vulnerable state for 2 turns on anybody it hits, and I can get 3 of them with it. Whatever. We'll go for it. More kills is more experience. We're getting a Warp Surge this turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now then, just can't Iolanthus. He can still use Honor the Chapter. Pick anybody and give them an extra 2 action points. I'm going to move him up in the hard cover as well. And I think we're just going... Do I want to Overwatch? Because, I mean, what use is an extra 2 action points going to be to any of these guys right now? I certainly don't want to risk Intercept the Storm. He's in half cover. I'm just going to Aegis shield him, make sure he doesn't die. And we'll set Overwatch as well.
I will fire when ready.
And that's it. Let's see what happens. Here they come. Iolanthus' armour takes it.
Weak.
Only 2 points because he was in hard cover. More Overwatch. You know, if these guys are just going to hang back setting zones of Overwatch for the rest of the mission, I am very, very happy with that. Fool's in hard cover, takes no damage. More Overwatch. Because I just have to hold out. Time is on my side here. These guys need to move forward, put me under more pressure than this, or I'm just going to extract. Again, no damage on Purgator Fool. He's in hard cover. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I am very happy with this. I think if I tried to break cover and fall back, my original plan, they wouldn't be setting up overwatch zones. They'd be pursuing and shooting. Islanthus takes a small amount of damage and that's it. Extraction complete. The Warp Surge triggers, gives one of them 50% resistance, but it's a day late and $1 short. We are out of here. Marines, we are leaving. Victory. Not as clean a victory as in the last mission, but I'm still quite happy with that. Show them what they won, Bob. Right, because I completed the Glorious Deed, I got 3 requisition points from that. Ooh, that's the Apothecary's melee weapon. I never know how to pronounce the name of that thing, the Narthessium? So, ooh, +2 damage against organic targets. And 10% crit against organic targets. I definitely want that. It's going to cost me 1 requisition point. So, what's this? Another Storm Bolter? I've got plenty of Storm Bolters. What does this one do? 10% crit. That is a very, very nice Storm Bolter. I kind of want them both. And what about this Terminator armor? Ward of the Aegis. It's regular Terminator armor with an extra point of armor. Ooh, difficult choices. I don't want to spend all of my requisition, so I'll pick these. Save 1 requisition point. And now, promotions. Okay, Islanthus and Thule get some promotions. Balls doesn't, which is kind of surprising, because he was only rank 1. He didn't have to get as much XP, but then again, I suppose he didn't really do an awful lot. Anyway, Purgator Thule. So, I really want to go down the grenade route here. So he gets more grenades, because later on you get these like mind bomb grenades that are just instant stuns. And stuns mean executes, and executes are fun, so we're going to do that. Now then, just call Islanthus. I can max out his Honor the Chapter ability, so that it'll give 3 action points instead of 2, and a bonus point of willpower. And it's such a good ability, I think I really have to. I could give him a war gear unlock so he can equip an extra piece of equipment. I think. Wait, no, we're not doing that. He didn't have the hammer hand ability. We're taking that. That's a guaranteed critical strike. Right, so that's the promotions. Oh, and only have to wait 1 day for Inquisitor Waifu to finish doing her seed research, so we'll go ahead and do that and see what happens.
It is clear that these seeds are fragments of some vile artifact, saturated with corruption. Once fused with organic life, they spread rapidly from the host, afflicting whole populations with a deadly plague.
All according to the plague god's desires.
Yes, but what confounds me is how it spread so quickly between solar systems. I have issued an interdiction order for this sector. Interplanetary travel will be limited. With the Emperor's mercy, it will buy us some time.
Denial. The Baleful Edict is far too damaged to begin a new campaign.
And yet it must. This bloom is already ripening, evolving fast towards some dire purpose. Would you truly turn your back on the trillions of souls the Plague God threatens to devour?
Never. But how do you propose we stop it?
This seed radiates a psychic imprint from what I believe to be some kind of origin. With further research, I will be able to pinpoint that location.
I would rather we simply purge them.
That is the difference between us, Purifier. You are the hammer, but I am the one with the burden to wield it. Destroying it now would silence the only lead we have. If I can prove these seeds all radiate from the same destination, then we can follow that trail and destroy the source of the bloom's power.
Challenge. You said seeds. You deduce much from only one.
You are correct, Tech Priest. I need more. One is not sufficient to prove my theory. Commander, You must send out your knights to harvest more.
You would have us limp around the sector with more of this corruption in my hold?
I agree it is far from ideal, Dominus, but if the Inquisitor can locate the source of this corruption, then I advise we comply with her request.
Affirmative.
Excellent. We have no time to waste.
So now you're going to see the dilemma that I have with regards to Inquisitor Waifu's research. I have 3 seeds. Seeds are used for research, and the research is divided up into 2 distinct subcategories. On the left-hand page, we have stratagems. These are very powerful abilities that I can use once per mission. I already have the Quicksilver strategy, which allows me to target one knight once per mission and give them an extra 2 action points, but I'd really like the Gate of Infinity stratagem as well, which allows all of my knights to teleport to any visible location. I mean, you can see how powerful and useful these stratagems are, but they all require seeds to research. Only 1 seed though, and I have 3. But here's the problem. This is what I need to research next. Source of the Bloom. It'll only take 25 days, but it will cost 5 seeds. And I don't have 5 seeds. So instead, I'm going to sacrifice a seed now on researching advanced seed access so that I can get more seeds faster in the future. This will give me 1 bonus seed per successful mission, but it will also unlock access to extractor servo skulls. These are basically drones that I can send to harvest seeds from seed carriers at range, so I don't have to walk my knights up to the seed carriers and hope I score a crit on them. This is going to be invaluable for speeding up future progress. So of course I didn't pick that, and instead I went for the Infinity Gate stratagem because I'm an idiot, although to be fair, the Infinity Gate is a very, very useful stratagem. But I went for that instead. Now I just have to hope that I can get Apothecary Han back from his mission to Titan, because I really kind of need him right now, before I have to deal with yet another Chaos incursion. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you're all having a great weekend, and as always, be pure, be vigilant, behave.